Yes, still the participants are joining, so we'll have to wait for some time since. Okay, we can start this. I hope you all receive our links. If not, please let your teachers to know that they should send their links to the students. So we are always having sending you the link in advance. As I mentioned earlier, we, the Chilau English unit, the Chilau English Education Office, of course, have been conducting a series of online sessions on behalf of you. So once you get the link, you will have to share it among your students, among your friends. And even if you don't get the links, please inform us or tell your teacher to send you the link. So we have been doing this now for about 2 months. We are going into the 3rd month. So we are doing a very big task. So please share our links. This is my first request before I start. Share the links with your friends and ask your respective teachers to send you the links, because we publish or we post the links in advance. Maybe, for example, if we have a session today, last night, of course, we sent you the links. Anyway, my dear students, we are going to start the session. I'm going to do a small warm-up first. Okay, this lesson is bit different from the lessons we've been doing, of course. So we'll see. I hope grade 10 students might have experienced this nature of this lesson. We'll see. Okay, dear students, first of all, I would like to do a small warm with you. So, welcome you once again. Good afternoon at the same time. We're waiting for some participants to join. Well, so idiomatic expressions. This might sound a bit strange to you, but I know as you go, you will understand my lesson, because this may be the first time you have heard about idiomatic expressions. Idiomatic expressions mean, students, that we use certain expressions in language which are actually particular to that language. Idiomatic expressions. Sometimes we rarely use karane, but as English learners of English, we'll have to use idiomatic expressions. So I am going to teach you what idiomatic expressions are in your grade 10 workbook, as well as in your textbook, pupils book. You will find an example, so an activity related to idiomatic expressions. I will explain what idiomatic expressions are as we go on in my lesson. Okay, wait for some time. Dear students, as I told you, first of all, I am going to do a small warm-up with you. Let me introduce myself first. I am Nilantha Jayakodi. I am the in-service advisor, Chilau Division. Well, first, a warmer. A warmer means before start of the lesson. Before we starting a lesson, we'll have to do a certain kind of activity. So I have selected today a small warmer. Look at the warmer. Very important. You have to read the instructions carefully. Match the words with their meaning. Since you are in grade 10, I believe you can do this because these words I have selected from grade 9 pupils book. Okay, you have to match the words with their meaning. Well, please do it. I will give you 3 minutes, students. 3 minutes. Do match it. Maybe take a piece of paper or have a screenshot or just write down the numbers there, then write down the next, have A, B, C, D like that, then match it. You will have another 2 minutes. One minute more. Drop me messages as you finish. Yes, I see. Now some participants, they are raising their hands suggesting that they have finished. Well done, very good. I'm using a little bit of Sinhala as well so that otherwise some students might find it difficult to understand, but to maintain certain standard we have to use English since this is an English session. Well, dear students, I will make it easier. I will use very simple language. Try to understand me. Try to understand my lesson. Well, now we are going to look at we are going to match, of course. I believe now you have finished by now. Let's look at the answers, students. Okay. Well, look at the answers. Sanctuary. Read the spelling also. Read the pronunciation. Very important. Sanctuary. Have you chosen the correct answer? I believe most of the participants have done this. Sanctuary. Let's see the answer. What is a sanctuary? Yeah, sanctuary is an area where wild birds or animals are protected. We have two sanctuaries, dear students. One at Vilpattua, the other one at Yal. Then you know the meaning. I need not to tell this in Sinhala. Then let's look at the next one. Endemic. Yeah, found only in particular region or a country. Endemic. Some birds, you know, like jungle fowl. It's an endemic bird to Sri Lanka. Endemic. Only found in that country or that area. Let's look at the third one. Destination. Yes, place that someone going to. For example, you have organized a trip and your destination is Kandy. You are going to Kandy. Destination means place you are going to. Next one, habitat. What is the answer? The natural environment where an animal or plant live. So we call them habitats. Natural environment of a bird or an animal. Yes. Yes. Number 5, last one. Roam. Move about freely. We see elephants roam in the jungle. Roam means move freely. I hope you understood this and you have done this. Most of the students have got the correct answers. Okay, with that warmer, we are going to proceed to the next slide. Let's see what my lesson is. Okay, dear students, as I told you, lesson is idiomatic expression. This might sound bit strange to you. මේක ටිකක් අමුතු පාඩමක් කියලා හිතේවි ශබ්දේ නිසා, වචනේ හුරු නැති නිසා. But you know this. And I have explained this. Look at an expression which function as a single unit. එතකොට idiomatic expression එකක තියෙන වචන කිහිපේ එක unit එකක් වශයෙන් ක්‍රියාත්මක වෙනවා. Whose meaning cannot be guessed from those of the individual words. If you are trying to get the meaning of individual words, it's impossible. You have to get the meaning of the whole phrase, whole sentence. Okay, let's look at the example rather than my telling in Sinhala. It's not nice. Example is there. Okay, look at the examples. He's on the fence about going on the pilgrimage. Like he's on the fence. When we say somebody is on the fence, not that it means that he is on the fence actually. What is the meaning? He is undecided. For example, one might say, I am on the fence. Your friend might have invited you to go on a trip. So you say, I am on the fence. Then that means you have not decided it yet. On the fence. වැටවුඩ. In Sinhala also we say, තාම තීරණය කර. So these are called idiomatic expressions. These are called idiomatic expressions. ඔන්න idiomatic expressions කියන්නේ මොනවද කියලා දැන් තේරුම් ගන්න. You are not going to look at the words meaning, but the meaning is different from the word to word meaning. On the fence. Not somebody is on the fence, but he has not decided, undecided. Look at the second example. You don't believe him. He's just pulling your leg. What does it mean if you use pulling your leg? What does it mean? Pulling your leg means you fool or trick somebody. Fool කරනවා. What does it mean fool? මෝඩයට අන්දනවා. ගොනාට අන්දනවා. අපේ වචනය. trick කරනවා. එහෙනම් කවුරු හරි pulling your leg කියලා දැම්මොත් එහෙම that is the meaning. Right, don't pull my leg. So you mean to say that don't try to fool me. So use this language, learn this. This is very important for a language learner. You having a lesson on in your grade 10 textbook. So these words are not very, frequently used by the learners of English in Sri Lanka most, because they are not aware of these things. So I want you to practice these things, learn these things. Okay, well, with that, the third one. 3. I tried to make out instructions, but it's all Greek to me. කවුරු හරි කිව්වොත් එහෙම මේක මට Greek to me කියලා. What does it mean? Greek to me? Difficult to understand. Greek to means difficult to. It's Greek to me. So sometimes some might say, then sir කරන lesson එකත් මට Greek වගේ. That means difficult to understand, dear students. ඔන්න මේවා use කරන්න. You have to use these lesson things. මේ idiomatic expression use කරපුවම your language is very beautiful and people know that you know something. You are different. Right. එහෙනම් ඔන්න Greek to me කියන එක you learn. Next one. You have to be patient. Success cannot be achieved in the twinkling of an eye. Look at asipiya gahana asillakin කියන එක. In the twinkling of an eye. What does it mean? Instantly. Immediately. You can't achieve success immediately. So it means in the twinkling of an eye is immediately. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Ruwan and Vimal are always arguing. They don't see eye to eye. So what does it mean, see eye to eye? Agree. See eye to eye means agree. So if you say don't agree, don't see eye to eye means do not agree, disagree. Okay, I hope you understand what idiomatic expressions are. ඕවට තමයි ළමයි idiomatic expressions කියලා අපි කියන්නේ. තව ඕන තරම් තියෙනවා. There are more, I mean, lot of idiomatic expressions. Once you refer to dictionaries, once you read books, once you read newspapers, there are a lot of idiomatic expressions. Okay, we are going to look at some of the idiomatic expressions we frequently meet. Next activity. Now I have selected some idiomatic expressions. Of course, most of them are frequently used. Now you have to match the meaning with the idiomatic expressions. Have a screenshot or write 1, 2, 3 like this. Then the B side, A, B, C, D and match. You will have 3 minutes. You have to match the idiomatic expressions with their meaning. Then කවුරු හරි කිව්වොත් එහෙම once in blue moon කියලා. What does it mean? Language learner කෙනෙකුට මේක දැනන් ඉන්න ඕනේ. I visit my grandparents once in a blue moon. What does it mean? If somebody says, අපි දන්නේ නැතුව කියොත් හරි අමාරුක වැටෙනව නේද? So you'll have to learn these things. Okay, match this. Yes, some have already finished their task since they raised their hands. I'm sorry that we have to mute your mics since we will have to maintain certain degree of discipline here. Otherwise, we could have asked you to just tell me the answers. Of course, in my first or second session, I did that. But certain students do not behave in a very disciplined manner. So we are forced to, or we are compelled to unmute, keep the mics muted. Sorry. Well, you have 1 minute, dear students. One minute. So if you know these idiomatic expressions, that it's very, your language is rich. Language එක හරිම පොහොසත් කියලා දැනේවි. Okay, there are more to learn. So this is, I'm laying the foundation. I'm just introducing idiomatic phrases. Okay, we'll see the answers. Okay, dear students, I believe you have finished by now. Okay, some more seconds. Let's look at the answers. Yes, here we go. Once in a blue moon. What does it mean? If somebody says, I don't know your names, if one says, I go there once in a blue moon, what does it mean? Let's see, dear students, what's the answer is. Okay, once in a blue moon. Here is the answer. Happens very rarely. කලාතුරකින් වෙන දෙයක්. Happens very rarely. Some students, do certain things once in a blue moon, like maybe doing your activities, writing an essay. You do once in a blue moon. So that means happens very rare. Let's look at the next one. That's a piece of cake. What does it mean? Piece of cake means work that is very easy. So one might say that the Max paper is a piece of cake. That means very easy. It's a piece of cake. Like, okay, okay. In Sinhala we have a different. අපි සිංහලුත් කියනවනේ මේවා. So we have those things. Okay. Cost an arm and leg. Cost an arm and leg. What does it mean? Have you guessed the meaning? Let's see. Very expensive. So you bought a laptop. You can say, oh, it cost me an arm and leg. It was around 2 lakhs. So it cost me an arm and leg. Next one. Can't judge a book by its cover. It's a very famous one. You can't judge a book by its cover. What does it mean? I hope most of you have guessed the correct answers. Since you have some clues there, let's see. Can't judge some things mainly on appearance. Appearance එක මතම අපි සමහර දේවල් guess කරන්න බෑ. Appearance පෙනුම. So one, you can't judge your friends on their appearance like this. You can't judge a book by its cover. Throw someone down the drain. What does it mean? Throw something down the drain. Drain can kanuwa. What does it mean? To waste something. So your mother might say, don't throw something, don't throw these things down the drain. So that means your mother is suggesting not to waste. Alright. Throw in the towel. Throw in the towel. Quit. Quit means atharina. Quit. Give up something. Give up trying something like this. Okay. With that knowledge, with that idea, now I hope I explain what an idiomatic expression is. Then I introduce some examples. This is the activity 1. Okay, now we are moving on to activity 2. Let's look at another activity. Now you have to remember these words to fill in my next activity. Therefore, I kindly invite you to write down these 6 idiomatic expressions. Otherwise, you might not be able to fill in the blanks. So take 1 or 2 minutes or have a screenshot and write down these idiomatic expressions. These expressions will help you to fill in the blanks. So please do write them quickly. I will give you 1 minute. Write the idiomatic expressions only, because these idiomatic expressions will help you to fill in the blanks in my next activity. Have a screenshot and write down the idiomatic expressions. I will give you 1 minute. Okay, please write down the idiomatic expressions on your left side. 1 more minute. 1 more minute. Well, because since these words will help you, you need these words. Okay. Shall we move on to the next one? That second activity. Okay, there are a lot of idiomatic expressions in your textbook or in your workbook. In your workbook, pupils workbook, page 25. There are a lot of activities on this. Please refer to them later, not now. Okay, I hope you have written the things. Now let's move on to the next one. Well, complete the sentences using the idioms you used. We call them idiomatic expressions or idioms. So please, now I believe you have written down the things. Now there are five gaps or blanks. So you need to put the idiom learn or idioms you learn in the earlier previous activity. Only 5, we learned 6. You need not to, there are only 5 gaps, so you will have to use only 5 out of 6. You have 3 minutes. Just write 1 and put the answer. Just write 2 and put the answer. 3 is missing. Eh? Only 4, not 3. Not 3 is not there. Only 4 blanks are there. Sorry. Take another few seconds and decide the best answer. Look at the context. Look at the sentences I have given. So you will have to use the context. Context is very important when you decide the answers. Read. You are in grade 10, I know. Therefore, you have to read the sentence and understand the context. Context means, have you already finished the rest? Of course, it was. Then you will have to understand this particular context. Otherwise, you can't fill in the blanks. Just merely you can't do this. One more minute. I'll give you one more minute. Very interesting. Most of the students have done this by now. Reading and understanding is very important to do an activity in this nature. Well, let's look at the answers, dear students. I believe you have finished. Okay. I know this is a challenging task for you in a way because these idioms are not very frequently used in our language. Even in your school, your teachers do not use them. And if you do not read, if you are not a good reader, you will not find them. Okay, let's go look at the answers. Right, first one. Look at the activity. I'm going to read this. Read with me. Practice reading as well. Have you already finished the test? Somebody might ask like this. Then your answer is, of course. Of course, it was a piece of cake. So, it was a piece of cake. Very easy. Let's look at the second one. Did Mr. Saman buy that huge house? Huge house. Very, very big. Yes, he did. It cost him an arm and leg. And a leg. It cost him an arm and a leg. That means he had to spend a lot of money. The house was huge as well as very expensive. Okay, dear students, cost an arm and a leg means very expensive. Number 3. Have you heard from Surangi recently? Have you heard? Have you got any information, any details of Surangi? Not at all. She writes once in a blue moon. Once in a blue moon, can you remember the meaning? Yes, dear students, can somebody tell me? Yes. Once in a blue moon means very rarely, very, very rarely. Right, last one. My business is running at a loss. I'm running at a loss. Business is not thriving. So I'm thinking about closing it down. So somebody might say like this. Then you might advise like this. Be patient and try a little harder. Don't throw in the towel. That means don't give it up. Don't give it up. Don't stop trying. Try. So with that knowledge, so dear students, I told you a little bit about idioms. Those are called idioms. I suggest you to learn more idioms and be a good language learner and a language user in your future. This is a long run. So you need to learn these things. Okay. Well, now I am going to deal with a enough to teach you in addition to the idioms. Okay, well, look at substitution and ellipsis. Okay, once again, my words are not really quite familiar to you, but you have learned these things. You have learned these things. I know definitely you have learned these things, but the words, my topics are not familiar to you. මගේ මේ වචන ඔයගලන්ට හුරු නැතුව ඇති. Since but you have learned this in a different, maybe different language, in a different nature. Your teachers might have taught you. I know these lessons are usually appear in your grade 9 book. Okay, let's look at what substitution and ellipsis are. Okay, I'm going to read. Please wait. Please wait. I need to go to the previous slide as well. Okay, I want to go to the previous one. Okay, right. I'm going to once again read what substitutions and ellipses. So, substitution and ellipsis are common technical devices. Now you are using devices to connect us. Devices used to avoid unnecessary repetition in sentences. Substitution සහ ellipsis අපි use කරන්නේ unnecessary repetition sentences වල avoid කරන්න. What does it mean? Unnecessary repetitions. අනවශ්‍ය නැවත කීම අපි නතර කරන්න. Look at the example. Substitution use karna, ellipsis. First, I'll be dealing with ellipsis. මං කොහොනේ මේ වචන හුරු නැතර ඔයගොල්ලෝ මේ කරනවා කියලා. You learn this in your grade 9. Ellipsis is the omission of a word. Omission කරන එක, අයින් කරන එක of a word or words from speech or writing that are not necessary. Not necessary. If you feel that these are not necessary for a phrase to be understood. තේරුම් ගන්න අවශ්‍ය නැති කොටස් අවශ්‍ය නැත්නම් අපි වයින් කරනවට තමයි කියන්නේ ellipsis කියලා. Look at the example. This will clearly show you. Are you ready? Somebody might ask this. Are you ready? Then you say, your mother may ask, are you ready, son or daughter? Yes, I am ready. This is the full form. So when you write like this. When you speak, you can speak like this. But this is not quite necessary because you are repeating the same thing. So to avoid repetition in sentences, in speech or writing, we use the ellipsis. Look at the ellipted form. Yes, I am. Are you ready? You can say yes, I am. This is called ellipsis. Now I believe you understand this. Are you hungry? Yes, I am. You need not to tell, yes, I am hungry. Need not to tell. You can say, yes, I am. So those are called ellipses. Why do we use ellipsis? To avoid unnecessary repetitions. Okay. Next one. Are you a teacher? One might say, this is the full form, I'm not a teacher. No, I'm not is the elliptic form. Look at the third one. Do you play cricket? Yes, I play cricket. Oh, elliptic form. Yes, I do. So, you will have to use the elliptic form in these instances, in these situations, whereas full form is not necessary. Remember, this is called ellipsis. Okay, we are moving to a small activity. Okay, shorten the underlined sentences to form elliptical sentences. For example, are you thirsty? Yes, I am thirsty. Then you need to write the elliptical sentence like this. Yes, I am. Now I have given you the full form, dear students. You need to write the shortened form or the elliptic form. Okay, start writing. You will have 5 minutes. Elliptic form. You have to write the elliptic form. Please do it. I have given you the full form. Dear students, you have to write the elliptic form. It's better if you write the answers only. Have a screenshot. Write the answer. You have another 4 minutes. Please do it. This is very important. You might get a question like this at the exam. Three minutes more. Okay, dear students, you have 1 minute. You know, these lessons you can watch on our YouTube channel as well, the previous lessons. Please log on to our channel and you can watch the sessions we have done so far. So pass this message to your students as well as your friends, not students, your friends, and you can watch almost all the lessons from grade 2 to grade 11 on our channel. Okay, dear students. Okay, this is a very interesting thing. To avoid unnecessary repetition, you need to shorten these things. especially in spoken, even in writing you can use this. So as I told you in my first slide, to be a good language learner, language use, to be a good a good language user rather, you have to learn these things. Okay, let's look at the answers, dear students. Let's look at the answers. Look at the answers. I'm going to the answers. See whether you have got the same answer, then mark it or learn it, or if you have got them wrong, please write the correct answer, because these things we'll need them. Look at the first one. Is that a crocodile? This is the long form, dear students. Yes, it is a crocodile. So, but you need not to say like this. You need not to write like this. This would be okay. Yes, it is. If it is a negative one, no, it is not. If it is a positive one like this, yes, it is. Alright, let's look at the second one, dear students. Are you Kasun's brother? No, I'm not Kasun's brother. That is the long form. No, I'm not is the ellipted form. So, very important. So, next one. Let's look at the third one. Have you ever seen an eagle? කවදාරි දැකලා තියෙනවද? Ever means. Have you ever seen an eagle? No. I haven't seen an eagle. That is the long form. Need not to say this. Need not to use that. But instead you can use the ellipted form or the shortened form, simple word. No, I haven't. No, I haven't. Okay, dear student, fourth one. Does he play the violin? Yes, he plays the violin. Look at the language, the sentence I have used as the ellipted sentence. Yes, he does. So does means the singular form. So when you have does starting with a question, then you will have to use does. Okay. If you use the plural subject there with the present simple, you will have to use do. For an example, if you say, do they like chocolate? Do they like chocolate? There you have the plural subject. Yes, they do. Or no, they don't. Right. Let's look at the fifth one. Did she go there? Did she go there? Yes, she went there. Yes, she went there. Okay. The ellipted one. She did. Yes, she did. Okay. So if it is a negative one, how do you answer? Did she go there? No, she didn't go there. The long form is, students, no, she didn't go there. She didn't go there. Then the ellipted form is, no, she didn't. No, she didn't. Okay, I'll give you 1 minute to write the answers. Or correct rather. Correct your answers. Mark. 1 minute for you to mark the answers. Do you need some more time to write down the correct answers? Well, let's look at the answers once again and please write them. Okay, shall you move on to the last lesson? Okay, last thing we are going to learn. Okay, shall I move on to the next slide? Okay, now in the previous slide we talked about ellipses. Ellipses. Now this is substitution. So when you play cricket, you have a substitute player. Most of our boys would know this. Substitute player කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා. ඒ වගේ ආදේශකයා. Substitution means ආදේශනය. So in Sinhala also we learn those things. Substitution is replacing, as I told you, it is replacing a word or a word phrase. වචනයක් or word phrase with another word. Words like one, words like some, words like any. So you replace a word with another word. That is called substitution. Adesha. To avoid, once again, why? Why do we use this, dear student? To avoid repetition. So why don't you take a note on this or have a screenshot? Have a screenshot. Then this will help you. This is all about language. You should know these things, not the words, not the particular jargon, particular what you call technical terms, but how the language is used. Okay. So I believe you are writing down, or you are now just jotting down a small note on this one, or you are taking a screenshot on this. Substitutions. When you use the language next time, yes, use substitutions, use ellipses, use idiomatic phrases. So then one might know you are a good learner, you are rich in language. So that is very important for you. Okay, let's look at, we are going to look at a small activity. We are going to do the small activity. This might help you to understand what you call substitution. Substitution means you substitute a word or a word phrase with another word. For example, have you seen a beautiful butterfly like this? No, I haven't seen a one like this. One කියලා කියන්නේ butterfly. එහෙනම් අපි use කරන්නේ නැතුව එක වචනයක් වෙන වචනයක් use කරනකොට අපි කියන්නේ substitution. Okay, please do this. This is the last activity. Please do this. I'll give you 3 minutes for this. So you have a special message too. Okay, Dilini, you have raised your hand. You have a special message, dear students. After this session, we have another session for you. That is a paper discussion. Do join that one and even share the link with your friends, with your school. You have a paper discussion after this. Every Saturday, we have a paper discussion session as well. From Sunday, throughout the week, we are having sessions conducted by the Zonal Education Office, and you have to join these things, join these sessions. And as I told you, we are conducting sessions from grade 2 to grade 11. So do join our sessions. We are doing this free of charge on behalf of the students in our zone. So do join us and encourage your students your friends to join us too. So as I told you, every Thursday and Tuesday we are having 2 sessions, paper discussions. It might be helpful for you since you are in grade 10. grade 10, but we are focusing on grade 11. But for grade 10 students also, that might be very useful. So I kindly request you to join our paper discussion sessions, which are on Saturday and Thursday. Every Saturday and every Thursday. 2 to 3:30 one session. The other session is 5 to 7. Do join us. We are discussing papers, model papers and the exam papers too. And your sessions are on Saturday and Friday. Grade 10, your sessions are on Saturday and Friday. This is Saturday. Even on Friday we have sessions. Okay. Alright. 1 more minute. You have 1 more minute to do the answers. Dear students, shall we look at the answers? This is the last one. Do remember about our sessions. Do remember our sessions since we are doing this free of charge. අර නොමිනේනේ කරන්නේ දරුවනේ මේ මැසේජ් එක හැමෝටම දෙන්න අපිත් එක්ක සහභාගී වෙන්න කියලා. So please inform your students. Right, okay. First one, look at the answer. I went to buy sugar, but they didn't have. What is your answer? What is your answer? Right, let's look at the answers. Let's look at the answers. Okay. Any ones like this. First one, I went to buy sugar, but they didn't have any. Any means sugar, any sugar. So you need not to use sugar again. Instead, you have to use any. That is a substitution. Why do we use substitution? To avoid repetition. Please remember this. In your language, you will have to use these devices. That's very important for you. Let's look at the second one. If you need sugar, I'll give you some. Once again, sugar is there. And some means sugar once again. Some sugar. So you are replacing sugar with some. So that is what do you mean by that? That is a substitution. Third one. Is that a giraffe? I have never seen one before. One means not the one you learn, not the number, but it refers to the giraffe. It refers to the giraffe. Okay, last one. Those roses are lovely. Okay, dear students, one might say those roses are lovely. Yes, especially the yellow ones. What does it mean? Ones there? Yellow ones. Ones means roses. Substitution. Okay, dear students, that is the end of my lesson, of course. Today I have selected idioms as my first topic. We discuss what idioms are. Idioms are actually a particular language expressions. You can't take the meaning word to word. You can have word to word meaning. You can take the meaning as a whole unit. Then we talked about ellipses. And then finally I talked about substitution. Please remember, do remember these things. Not the name, but the usage, as I stress that. And substitutions are ellipses are used to avoid repetition. So as a good language learner or a user, you will have to learn this. Please do use, enrich your language. Enrich. That is my earnest request. Okay, do pass the messages I sent you. Especially I know that you are from the schools in our zone. Do pass this message. So try to help your friends to join our sessions every day. From Monday to Saturday we are having sessions. Grade 9, 3 sessions we conduct usually, 3 sessions, and grade 10 we have 3 sessions. Grade 11 we have 3 sessions, 2 paper discussion sessions also, and we have literature sessions as well. Please do join, because we like more participation. We like to help more students in our zone. Well, with that, I'm going to wrap up my presentation. Okay. Dear students, thank you very much for joining us. Alright, thank you very much once again, and take care, stay home, do your studies well. Okay, bye bye.